Hello and welcome to the Out Loud English podcast. I'm Jake.
And I'm Mia. We are so happy you're here with us today. Jake, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Mia. Ready for today's topic, which is something I think every single English learner has experienced.
Oh, definitely. Today we are talking about what to say when you don't understand someone in English. That moment when someone says something and your mind just goes blank.
Exactly. It happens to everyone. And it's so important because real conversations are fast. People use contractions like gonna or wanna. There might be background noise in a cafe, or people might have different accents.
Right, or they use slang or an idiom you've never heard before. So we want to give you the tools to handle these moments with confidence. The main goal today is to help you feel comfortable and prepared.
That's the key word, confidence, because it's a completely normal challenge. This episode will give you the exact phrases you need.
Okay, so let's start with the most important thing. Before we even learn any phrases, let's talk about the feeling. It is totally normal to miss words.
This is so true. I want to tell all our listeners something. Native English speakers miss words all the time.
All the time. If I'm in a noisy restaurant or on a bad phone call, I will absolutely say things like, "Sorry, what was that?" Or, "Can you say that again?"
I say I didn't catch that probably 5 times a day. It's a normal part of conversation. Asking someone to repeat something isn't a failure. It's not a test you failed.
Exactly. It's the opposite. It shows you are engaged, you are listening, and you want to understand. It's a communication skill.
So please let go of any fear or embarrassment. You are not failing, you are communicating.
Okay, now that we have that foundation, let's hear what this sounds like in real life. We're going to do a little role play.
Let's do it. So in this example, 2 friends are making plans for the weekend. I'll be Alex, and Mia, you can be Chloe.
Sounds good. Okay, I'll start. Hey, Alex, are you free on Saturday? A bunch of us are going to that new park by the river.
Oh, cool. What time are you guys thinking?
We're gonna meet up around 2 and then grab some food after at that taco place.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't catch the last part. We're meeting at 2 and then what?
Oh, then we're grabbing food at that taco place.
Oh, got it. Awesome. Count me in.
And scene. Okay, let's break that down. Jake, what phrases did your character, Alex, use?
Sorry, what was that? Very common, very natural. Then I was more specific. I didn't catch the last part. This is super helpful because it tells the other person exactly what you missed.
Right. And notice how casual and easy it was. Chloe didn't get annoyed, she just repeated the information. Then Alex finished with, "Oh, got it," which signals that he now understands.
It's a really smooth interaction. So this leads us perfectly into our first group of phrases, simple ways to ask someone to repeat themselves.
Let's give you a list. We'll start with some very common, casual ones you can use with friends. The first one is what Jake used. Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Or even shorter, I missed that. Very natural.
You can also say, "Can you say that again?" Now, if you want to be a little more polite or formal, you can use could instead of can. Could you say that again? Adding a please at the end makes it even more polite.
That's a great tip. Could is always a bit softer than can. A few more very casual ones you might hear are, "What did you say?" Or even shorter with friends, "One more time?" Or "Say that again?"
Those last two are very informal, so probably best with people you know well. So you have a lot of options, from very casual to more polite.
Okay, so now that you've heard them, it's time for you to practice. This is your first listener practice section.
That's right. I'm going to say a phrase and then I'll pause for 3 seconds so you can repeat it out loud. Don't be shy. Say it with me. Ready? Okay, first one. Repeat after me. Sorry, what was that? Great. Next one. Can you say that again? Nice. Now, the more polite version. Could you say that again, please? Good. Let's do another. Repeat after me. Sorry, I didn't catch that. And the last one, for being specific, I missed the last part.
Awesome job. The more you practice saying these phrases, the more naturally they will come to you in a real conversation.
Okay, let's move on to our next real-life example. This one happens at a cafe or restaurant.
This is a classic situation. Service workers often speak very quickly because they're busy. In this scene, I'll be the customer and Mia will be a very fast-talking barista.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Bean. What can I get for you?
Hi, can I get a latte?
Sure thing. You want whole, reduced fat, or oat milk?
Sorry, could you say that a little slower?
Of course. Did you want whole, reduced fat, or oat milk?
Oat milk, please. And what were the pastry options again?
We have croissants, scones, and muffins.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Croissants, scones, and muffins.
Great, a scone, please. Thanks.
Okay, great scene. The main takeaway here is that sometimes the problem isn't just that you missed a word, it's that the person is speaking too fast.
Right, and it is perfectly okay to ask someone to slow down. My character used the phrase, sorry, could you say that a little slower? It's direct, polite, and very effective.
This brings us to our next set of phrases, asking someone to speak slower. Let's give you some options.
The one I used is a great go-to. Could you speak a little slower, please? Using could and please makes it very polite.
You could also say, can you say that more slowly? Or, a bit softer, sorry, could you slow down a little?
And here is a fantastic one that is very reassuring for both you and the other person. My English is still improving. Could you speak a little slower?
I love that one. It's honest and gives context, and people are almost always happy to help. They'll appreciate that you told them.
Totally. Remember, you're helping them communicate with you better. It's a two-way street. All right, you know what time it is.
Listener Practice Section 2. This time, Jake will lead.
Could you speak a little slower, please? Can you say that more slowly? Sorry, could you slow down a little? I'm still learning English. Could you say that more slowly?
Fantastic! You're doing great! Now, let's think about a different kind of situation. What if you hear all the words, but you don't understand the meaning?
This happens a lot, especially in a workplace or at school, where you might hear specific jargon or instructions. So for our third role play, let's imagine a coworker is explaining a task. I'll be the new employee, and Mia, you can be my manager.
Okay, sounds good. Jake, I need you to circle back on the quarterly report and then ping me once you've run the numbers.
Okay, sorry, could you repeat the last part after the quarterly report?
Sure. Just ping me once you've run the numbers.
Got it. And just to make sure I understood, when you say ping me, do you mean I should send it today via email?
Ping me just means send me a quick message. Email is fine, or just a chat message. And yes, please send it today.
Okay, great. Thanks, that helps.
Okay, and scene. This is a perfect example of asking for clarification. Jake's character heard the words ping me, but he wasn't sure of the meaning.
Right. And in a professional setting, this is not just a good skill, it's an essential skill. You need to be sure you understand your tasks. I used two great clarification phrases. Just to make sure I understood, and do you mean I should?
Those are excellent. They show you're thinking critically. This brings us to our next category, phrases for asking for clarification.
Let's give you a list. Some simple, direct ones are, what do you mean? Or, what does that mean? You can use these for a specific word or idea.
To be a little more polite, you can say, could you explain that? Or even better, could you explain that in a different way?
Sometimes an example is the best explanation. You can ask, can you give me an example? This is super useful.
And then there are the phrases for checking your own understanding, like Jake used in the role play. Do you mean, and then you say what you think it means, or just to make sure I understand, followed by your interpretation.
These are powerful tools. They prevent misunderstandings before they happen.
What do you mean? Good. Next. Could you explain that? Excellent. Let's ask for an example. Can you give me an example? Just to make sure I understand. And the last one, we'll use the example from the role play. This one is a little longer. Ready? Do you mean I should send it today?
Great work. These phrases are your best friends at work or school. Okay, let's move to another tricky situation. Phone calls.
Phone calls can be so tough. You can't see the person's face or read their lips, and the connection can be bad.
Exactly. So for this role play, let's imagine I'm calling a restaurant to make a reservation and the connection is not very good. I'll be the customer and Mia, you can be the restaurant host.
You got it. Ring ring. La Bella Restaurant. This is Mia speaking.
Hi, I'd like to make a reservation for Friday night.
Certainly. For how many people? And our address is, Main Street.
Sorry, the connection is bad. You cut out for a second. I didn't hear the address.
Oh, my apologies. Our address is 125 Main Street.
Great, thank you. And the reservation is for 4 people at 7.
Perfect. We have you down. Your confirmation number is 839.
Sorry, I missed that. Could you say the number again?
Yes, it's 5,839.
Got it. 5,839. Thanks so much.
This is such a common situation. The key phrases Jake used were great, saying, sorry, the connection is bad, or you cut out for a second, immediately explains the problem without making it about your English level.
Right. And then I asked specifically for what I missed. I didn't hear the address, and could you say the number again? Being specific saves time.
This leads us to a really important category, asking for specific details, like numbers, names, and addresses. It is extremely normal to ask for these things to be repeated.
Absolutely. Native speakers do this constantly. It's better to ask twice than to write down the wrong address. So for names, a key phrase is, could you spell that for me?
For numbers, just like Jake said, could you say the number again? You can also check confusing numbers. A very common confusion is between numbers like 13 and 30, or 15 and 50. So you can ask, was that 15, or 50, FIFTY.
That's a great tip. Spelling it out helps a lot. You can do the same for days of the week. Did you say Tuesday or Thursday?
And finally, one of the best ways to confirm details is to repeat them back to the person. You can introduce this by saying, "Let me repeat that back to you." And then you say the address or number. For example, "Okay, so that's 125 Main Street?"
Yes, active confirmation is a pro communication skill. Okay, let's get some practice in.
Time for listener practice section 4. I'll lead this one. Get ready to repeat. First, for spelling, could you spell that for me? Good. Now, for numbers, could you say the number again? Great. Now, checking confusing numbers, was that 15 or 50? Checking confusing days, did you say Tuesday or Thursday? And finally, for confirming, let me repeat that back to you.
So, we've covered what to do when you miss a word, when someone speaks too fast, or when you need to confirm details. But Mia, what about when you hear every word perfectly, but the sentence still makes no sense at all?
That's a fantastic question, Jake. It's probably one of the most common and challenging situations for learners. You've successfully navigated the conversation, you're hearing everything clearly, and then suddenly a phrase comes out of nowhere that makes zero literal sense. This is the world of idioms and slang. An idiom is a phrase where the meaning isn't obvious from the individual words, like saying, "The ball is in your court," which means it's your turn to make a decision.
Excellent. You are building such a great toolkit of phrases. Now we want to give you a few more phrases that are a little softer or more nuanced. They can make you sound very natural.
These are great alternatives to the basic phrases we already learned. For example, instead of just, "I didn't catch that," you can soften it by saying, "Sorry, I missed that." Or even more softly, "I didn't quite catch that."
That word quite makes a big difference. It sounds really fluent. Another great one, which is a bit of an idiom but very common, is, "Could you run that by me again?" It's a friendly, casual way to ask someone to repeat something.
I like that one. And a simple, warm alternative is just, "Could you say that one more time?" It sounds a little friendlier than just, "Can you say that again?"
These are great to add to your list once you're comfortable with the basics. Now, on the other side, let's talk about a few phrases to avoid, or at least use carefully.
This is an important section. The goal is always to be polite, so avoid using just one word, like shouting "repeat" or "again." This can sound like a command and feel a little rude.
Right. Instead of repeat, say, "Could you repeat that, please?" A full sentence is always better. The other word to be careful with is what.
Yes, just saying "what" can sound a bit aggressive or sharp, like you're annoyed. It depends on your tone of voice, but it can be risky.
A much better, safer alternative is, "Sorry, what was that?" The sorry softens it and makes it polite. So just try to use full, polite phrases instead of single, direct words.
Okay, now it's time to put it all together. We're going to do a longer role play of a hotel check-in. The learner character will need to use a combination of the phrases we've learned.
This is a great real-world scenario. I'll be the guest checking in, and Mia, you can be the hotel receptionist.
Perfect. Let's begin. Welcome to the Grand Hotel. How can I help you?
Hi, I have a reservation under the name Jake Anderson.
Okay, let me see. Anderson? Yes, I have it right here. You're all set. The Wi-Fi password is Hotel Guest 2024, all one word, and breakfast is served from 7 to 10 in the lobby.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch the Wi-Fi password. Could you say that again?
Of course, it's Hotel Guest 2024, exclamation point at the end.
Got it, thanks. And what was the checkout time?
Checkout is at 11 a.m. You can also request a late checkout, but you'll need to call the front desk to arrange that.
Okay, just to make sure I understand, I have to call tomorrow morning if I want a late checkout.
That's correct. Here is your room key. You're in room 415. Enjoy your stay.
Sorry, was that 415 or 451?
415. 415.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
That was brilliant. Jake's character used phrases for repetition, clarification, and confirming numbers all in one short conversation. It was smooth, polite, and effective.
And the receptionist was happy to help. That's how most real interactions will go. Okay, for our final practice section, we're going to try something a little different.
This is our listener practice mini conversation. It's interactive. Jake is going to say something a little fast. Then I will prompt you, the listener, to respond using one of our phrases. I'll leave a pause for you to say it. Ready?
The meeting starts at 3:15 in conference room B.
Sorry, could you repeat back?
The meeting starts at 3:15 in conference room B.
Great. Now, he's still talking a bit fast. Ask him to speak slower. You say, "Could you speak a little slower, please?"
Of course, the meeting starts at 3:15 in conference room B.
Perfect. Now you want to confirm the time. Ask, "Did you say 3:15?" Your turn.
Yes, 3:15. You got it.
Well done. That was great practice for using these phrases in a real back-and-forth conversation. Let's recap the most important phrases. First, for asking someone to repeat. What are our top choices, Jake?
I'd say a good casual one is, "Sorry, I didn't catch that." A good polite one is, "Could you say that again, please?"
Perfect. Next category, asking someone to speak slower.
A great all-purpose phrase is, "Could you speak a little slower, please?"
Excellent. How about for asking for clarification when you don't understand the meaning?
I love the ones for checking your understanding. Just to make sure I understand, do you mean?
That's a powerful one. And finally, for confirming specific details like numbers or names.
Two great ones are, "Could you spell that for me?" and "Let me repeat that back to you."
That's a fantastic summary. We hope you all have these phrases ready to use.
And that brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today.
We really want to leave you with that core message we started with. It is okay to ask for help. It's normal. It's a sign of a good communicator, not a bad English speaker.
Absolutely. So go out there and practice. Be brave in your conversations. Use these phrases. You'll be surprised how helpful people are and how much more confident you will feel.
Thank you again for listening to the Out Loud English podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss our next one.
Until next time, keep practicing and keep speaking out loud. Bye, everyone.
Bye!